Testing. All right, Shalom Israel. This is the Israelite School of University of Vatican. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, where we are led by commanding Journey Hunter today is the Isupk Houston, Galveston, Port Arthur, Beaumont, Lufkin, Friday, Lashawan Qadash class, you understand? Go over our language, the same language that was beaten out of our backs, you understand? Years later, since 1969, we have been teaching our people our language. You understand? We revived this language from the dead. You understand? They deemed this tongue a dead language. You understand? But here we are today in 2025, almost 2026, teaching this so-called dead language. You understand? We brought it back to life through the grace and the mercy of the Most High. You understand? And this is ISPK's job to properly edify our people. You understand? So today will be a beginner's lesson. You understand? It's the beginner's lesson. It's the continuation of 100. You understand? This is the beginner's class. You understand? Then we're gonna get into the more meatier things as we progress. We're gonna start class as we always do by going over the alphabet. Class, repeat after me. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, kha, sa, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, za, qua, ra, sha, and All right, so what we just did was that was the alphabet. You understand? We'll be going over a bit of that today, along with some of these words. So real quick, the title of today's class is right. You understand? Classes like these are very, very, very important. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, we lost this language, and here we are today about to, learn it, learn a bit of it. You understand? It's a slow walk. You know what I'm saying? But the more we practice together, the more we begin to have a better understanding. One thing about our language, it is a very basic language. It's very brutish, and it's spoken very strong. You know what I'm saying? It's like that alternative lifestyle sounding Yiddish that they speak in our homeland right now. You know what I'm saying? That's not our language. That's not how you properly say the holy tongue. Speaking the holy tongue. You understand? For one, our language does not have vowels. You understand? So when it's spoken, it only sounds out as A and I. There are no O's, U's, what else? What else did they say? O's, U's, or E's. You understand? So the only vowels that we so-called use, just to sound everything out, is A and I. Alright? So all that OUE stuff is Yiddish. For instance, Christ's name is Yahweh Shai. You understand? But they bastardize his name and call him all kinds of crazy stuff and all kinds of nonsense like Yeshua when his name is Yahweh Shai. You understand? This is the briefing, right? All right. So moving on to our first word of the night. All right. So we're gonna start off where we left off the other week at soul. You understand? That brother got a lot of soul. You understand? Soul in Hebrew is napash, right? Napash. Very simple, very easy, right? All right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to write it in the Paleo and the Assyrian, two different formats of Hebrew. We learned the Assyrian, or we came up with the Assyrian as like a shorthand of some sort in our Assyrian captivity, right? All right. I kind of think of it as cursive almost, but you know, you know there. Okay. So what we have right here, napash, na pa sha. So um in our language, you understand, unlike English, which is a backwards language, our language is from right to left, not left to right. You understand? All right. So next, we're going to get into the proper enunciation and putting the word together properly. You understand? So we have na, pa, and sha. Now, instead of na pa sha, how do we get napash? I'm going to show you. In Paleo, we have these things called connectors. You understand? If you've been rocking along with these classes, then you do know that I got my own name for them. This is not a formal name. I'm not sure if it has one, but this is what I call it to help our people better remember the differences between them. So one is what I like to call the bridge, right? All right, the bridge. When you see the bridge, that means it will be sounded out by itself, right? Okay, moving along. I call this one the ditch. When you see the ditch, that means that they are joined together. They are connected. Okay? Make sure y'all have a pencil and paper or something that y'all can record this lesson with. You understand? Once again, this is called the bridge. This is called the ditch. And when you see the ditch, that means they are joined together, right? When you see the bridge, that means they are apart. For instance, na, pa, and sha, right? I'm gonna write the A in parentheses so that we know that this is another letter that we are using in the word, right? Right. So first, na, na pasha. How do we get that? Na pa, and shove. So would they be connected or would they be set apart? Right? In this case, they will be connected, giving us the conjugation napash instead of napasha. Right? So you see the differences between the bridge and the ditch. Um, one connects and one is by itself, right? So instead of napasha, we got napash. So all the connectors are guide us in properly enunciating the word that we have at hand, right? So our next word is father. Right? So father in Hebrew is Abba. Right? This is something that we can definitely use on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? Instead of dad, instead of father, why not say it in our own tongue? Why not practice our own language? You feel me? This is stuff that we can use on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? Once we get through this list, you understand? I'll be adding phrases onto it, and then we might just go back through some words that we use on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? All right. So this one very simple. Ah and ba. Very easy. Very simple. I have to write this better. Right. All right. In the matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and write the connectors. So in this case, oh, Salaki. Okay. The I and the ba, they are apart. Get my point? Instead of it being connected, how pa and sha are, they are set apart, giving us Abba. Okay? So in the Assyrian, very simple, very easy. Might be a little tricky at first, you know what I'm saying? But as we progress, you know what I'm saying, as we begin to learn our language more and more and get more familiar with the alphabet, then, you know what I'm saying, things become less intimidating. A lot of people are intimidated by this right here. But this is what we read every Saturday from the from the Bible Hub app. Every Saturday we read this Assyrian in the Bible Hub app. Right? Alright, so I'm gonna write down the letters that we use in all the letters I'm gonna write down the letters all the letters that we use so far what you see on the board. Um Starting with Na. so real quick, let's go through some things. All right, so right here you got Na, you got it in the Paleo and the Assyrian, right? So the Assyrian has two different variants of the letter Na, right? One that goes anywhere but the end of a word, and one that goes strictly at the end. You understand? Knowing the difference is very important into properly putting a word together. You understand? And I'm gonna go on the whim and say that right here, these are not W's. These are the letters. It's the letter Shah in the Hebrew, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Quick fact: a lot of these, really all of our letter, all of our alphabet in Hebrew and Paleo comes from everyday things. You know what I'm saying? That's another lesson that I will go over. You understand? Understanding the roots of our word. I mean, of our alphabet, right? All these Paleo that you see, they come from everyday things. You understand? Like for instance, Yah. What does that look like? Like a hand, right? You know what I'm saying? Or Za, which like a scythe. You know what I'm saying? It just comes from everyday things. Or Da, right? Which it's like a door. A door to a tent, actually. Right? Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna step off to the side and give y'all a moment to write this down on paper, and then we are going to move on. Alright. Alright, I want to give some quick shout outs. Shout out Princess Kawana. Shout out Sister Yapana. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Zion. Shout out Ladies Bellinger, you understand? And shout out Young Man Ron, man. It's good to see y'all. Thought for tapping in. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Alright, if you do not catch all of that, please be kind and rewind. This is why we record everything. We record all of our lessons. You understand? So people could go back and watch everything, and you know what I'm saying? Catch up on what you may have missed. Right? Alright, so our next word is stone. hmm Stone in Hebrew is a bond. Alright? So, a word, a bond, ba na. What the rule that I said for the na earlier. This is the variant that goes on the end. Right? Okay. So, let's get into the connectors. Ba na. Instead of it being abana, you know what I'm saying? Let's put it together. Gets a bridge. Ba and na they get a ditch. Right? So moving on to our next word, which is Lord. So real quick, matter of fact, oh, Salaki, I didn't even write it in the English. So, oh, my barn. Salaki, I forgot to write the English verbalization. That's my apology. All right, so Lord, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Lord has about really many different words for Lord. So I'm going to write all three, with the most important being the Lord's name, right? Right. Another word. This is the Most High's name, right? Okay. Second, right? Adawan, or let me make sure I got that right. Yep. Right. Slanted. Okay. So we got the Most High God's name, we got Adawan, and we got Adonaiah. You understand? Because one thing about our language, there are many. One word um can have many different meanings. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, Kazak. Kazak means firm, or it can mean strong. Or Shemayim, which can mean water, or it can mean heavens. You know what I'm saying? Or what else? Shalom. Shalom can be a greeting, or it can mean farewell. You understand? It's many different ways um, that we use words in our language, because most of our language is slang. All right. So first things first, we're gonna write the Most High God's name in Hebrew. Right. are the many different ways to spell Lord in Hebrew. You understand? Many different ways, right? So we have the first one, the most important one, meaning the Lord's name, which is Yahweh, right? Yah, ha, wah, ha, right? In the Assyrian, we also have Adawan, which translates into Lord. That's one thing that we say in the Isupk, which is Khan Adawan Khan. You understand? Um, right? And Adonaiah, which is the same thing, Lord. So these are different levels of the word, of course. You understand? Well, these are basically the same thing right here. You know, you get my point. All right. So I'm gonna give y'all some time to write that down. This is something that we can definitely use every day, and it's always good to know. You understand the name of the power that is all that governs us. You understand? If you do not know it already, this is how you spell it. I'm gonna give y'all some time. Gonna check the chat real quick to see what we got. All right, sis, I see you in the chat, man. You've been on fire the whole class. You understand? I wish I could, interact with the chat more, but the computer's not nearby. You understand? But excellent job, right? All right, so that's more than enough time. If you did not catch all of it, please be kind and rewind. Let's go back and to look over what we've went through so far. All right, so once again, these are things that we can use on a daily basis. You understand? When we pray, you got to call on the name of the Lord, right? You know what I'm saying? That in the name of the Savior, right? All right, so human. Right? Human in Hebrew is Adam, which was also Adam's name, ironically. Right? You understand? But as we know, Adam was definitely not the first human on earth. Contrary to popular belief, you understand that it does not make sense at all. You understand? Christians just misread the Bible. You know what I'm saying? One day we will go over it. But for time's sake, we're gonna keep it on track, right? So okay. So once again, let's get our connectors right. Matter of fact, let me write this a little bit lower. I feel like they're too close. so with Dom, let's get the connectors. We got I, Da, and Ma. Alright. Why is it not Adama? Because the connectors go like this. You understand? The I would be by itself, the Da and the Ma would be connected, giving us the dumb sound instead of a Da Ma. When you connect it, it gives us a whole different conjugation, right? Dumb. Okay. All right. Moving on to our next word. We are almost through the 100 common nouns. You understand? All right. So our next word is brown. Okay. So we got Adamaha. You understand? Let's see if the people at home know what's connected and what's not connected. Right? So I'm gonna write the letters off to the side. All right, so for the people at home, real quick, let's see who's paying attention. You understand? How do we get out of my and not out of my ha? If we don't get anybody tapping in, then you know what I'm saying, we're gonna move on, of course. The show must go on. Okay, so we got one bridge, bridge, ditch. Hmm, that may be correct. May be correct. Let's see if anybody else got anything to say. We're gonna give about 10 more seconds, then we're gonna move on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so Sister Lay just said bridge, bridge, and ditch. And sis, give her a hand. That is absolutely correct. You understand? Throw out for interacting, you know what I'm saying? It makes the class all a bit better. You feel me? Absolutely correct. That is how you properly say Adama. Right? Which is ground. Or because, you know what I'm saying, um, one word doesn't just have one meaning. We also have arataza, which can also mean ground or earth. Most formally means earth, right? You know what I'm saying? In context. Mm, right here, right here. Because of course, a lot of these words have more than one meaning or more than one bearing. It all depends on the contextual use of the word. Okay. All right. You got a few more seconds to write this down, and then we are going to move on. You know what I'm saying? So we have our word human, which is Adam. Adam, right? And we have ground, which is Adama. Or Arataza, earth, ground. You know what I'm saying? This is another word for, you know, most commonly though, um, Arataza pertains to the word earth. Okay. All right, moving on. Getting into the how our alphabet was formed as a class that I am definitely looking forward to teaching. You know what I'm saying? It's very interesting understanding how basic and how easy our language really is. It's a very simple language when you know dive deep into it. All right. So we're gonna do about two more, right? Next word, tint. You know what I'm saying? Aha. Mhm. Okay. So we have ha, and la. So this is kind of a curveball right here. You feel me? Because is usually written out right, and this right here is ha. Right? How do we get a ha? Let's see. All right, no answers, no sweat. It's all right. Because these are connected. Matter of fact, no, it ain't. I'm tripping. Actually, this case, this will be by itself, and these will be connected, giving us a hall. All right, not to confuse nobody, right? This is I, and this is ha. I, ha. One is by itself, one is connected, giving us, put them all together, a hall. All right, so our next word is brother. All right, now let's see if somebody knows how to say brother in Hebrew on Facebook, man. We call each other all the time, right? All the time. I'm gonna give y'all about 15 seconds. Let's see if anybody knows how to say brother in Hebrew or bro for shorthand. Give y'all about 15 seconds, man. 15 seconds, and we're gonna keep on rolling. Four letters, four letters, four letters. Almost, almost. That's ouch. There you go. Good job. Good job. Excellent. All right, so it is ah. Excellent work. Excellent work, sis. Ah. To my beautiful rib at home. You know what I'm saying? Excellent work. Or, it can mean bro as well, you know what I mean? Right? Hey. All right, so real quick, let me write this better. How that looks. I wasn't blessed with the best handwriting, but I'm here nonetheless to teach our people, right? Anyway, all right, so we have this letter right here that kind of looks similar to this one, right? So the differences between these is one will be open and one will have a closed cap. You get my point? So this is ha, open, ha. Matter of fact, that's actually a th. Ha will be closed. See what I'm saying? Now th also looks the same, but you'll know the difference because it has a little accent right here. But they all look alike, right? Right now we just gonna focus on ha and cha. You understand? This is not cha or cha'a. In our tongue, in our native tongue, this is cha, right? Giving us the conjugation ach, or how we say it, ak. You know what I'm saying? But it's really ach. And they will be connected. Instead of us getting a cha or a cha, it's ak. Right? Alright, let's see if we got any more comments on Facebook or the chat. Alright, no sweat. So we're gonna close out with that. Y'all have been an excellent class. An excellent class, you understand? Lord allow, we learned something tonight. Once again, these are things that we can use on a daily basis, you know what I'm saying? And some words we use on a daily basis, such as Ak, or the Lord's name, or Adawan, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? There's many lessons to come. Eventually, we're going to start going over, you know, how these letters were formed, maybe the history of the how we got the Assyrian. It's really I might just add that into the lesson about the paleo. But you know what I'm saying? With phrases, you know what I'm saying? I got lesson plans on lesson plans, you know what I'm saying? Just make sure y'all tune in, you feel me? Every Friday. Every Friday. I might not be here. Might have another brother teaching, you know what I'm saying? But I'm always going to pick back at the same lesson because this right here is a beginner's class, you feel me? Most brothers might be a little bit more advanced. Right now, I'm teaching beginner's class, right? So with that, I'm going to give a courtesy salute. Yahweh Hashem Yashar Thumb to the brothers and to the sisters. Yahweh Shema Lataba Hashem Yashar Shalom. Oh. My brother got a question in the chat. Alright, so I am Anaya. Easy. Anaya in the Assyrian. Bear with me, brother. Alright? So that is I, or in some context, I am. I'm going to give you a few seconds screenshot that, you know what I'm saying, if you can. Shout out to my boy Lama Yah, man. You know what I'm talking about? Holding it down out there and pulled out there in Beaumont, man. Shout out to you, brother. Alright. So, once again, to the brothers, y'all about Shemir Shabbat Thumb to the brothers. And to the sisters, y'all Shemar Taba Shemir Shah. Shalom. I'll catch up with y'all next Lashawan Qadash.